How can policies encourage a range of visitor accommodation in Westminster, or do you think it's necessary that we encourage a range of visitor accommodation in Westminster? Are there any... Did you...
Can I put my other hat on, not the Ward Councillor now? I think one of the main problems we have in London is actually a lack of what I would call 3-star hotels. And there are plenty of so-called 5 stars, but then you go to the Bayswater type and also Sussex Gardens type, where they are providing pretty, some places ropey accommodation, but we do need to encourage, if possible, and then it comes down to what we've discussed earlier about the question of land value. And the problem there is for a hotel to actually be able to put itself up and to operate as a 3-star is not viable. So we need to look at ways, if it's possible, to have the 3-star approach, for which there is a tremendous demand in central London, and that is borne out by all the tourism studies that have ever been carried out. But the challenge to us as the local authorities, how could we encourage that to happen in the Sussex Gardens Bayswater area without demolishing these houses? And that, I think, is an impossibility. So where a 3-star opportunity arises, I think that we should be encouraging it, but not necessarily if somebody wants to put a 5-star hotel, and you can't dictate that. So we're in a catch-22 situation. So personally, I would rather like to encourage the idea of somehow an evolving plan whereby 3-star facilities are there to help London, but not to affect the residents of the area or indeed the structure of the building structures in the way they are. So it's a difficult question to answer, but certainly from the economic development of the city, this is what we need. We need more 3-star hotels. Rather than people paying £500 a night, we need the £100 a night.
Okay, thank you very much. Keith, and then...
Yes, I was just going to make the point that I think, yes, as a matter of principle, supporting different grades, categories of visitor accommodation is to be welcome. I think what has happened in recent years is that we have seen new, what one might call 3-star budget business models coming into central London, and they're tending to sort of circle the CAZ, but they are beginning to meet demand. We are seeing, for the first time, I think, quality in central London in terms of budget accommodation coming forward, but the demand is clearly still there.
Is there any particular planning constraints, sorry, to come back to you, that you can see to providing that 3-star accommodation, or is it, as you were saying, the land use values that are prohibitive?
Well, I think traditionally policy has been guarded in terms of the need for servicing for coaches, and I think I think more flexibility in terms of looking at individual proposal on a case-by-case basis, because I think there are far more hotels that can be provided on sites throughout central London that simply do not require the provision of large areas of hard standing or aprons for coaches.
Okay, thank you very much. Alderman.
I just want to say I'm very familiar with Sussex Gardens because it was my ward, and in fact now that it's been part of the BIDS for Paddington and Praed Street, there is in fact an upgrade in most of those small hotels. Maybe they have been grotty, I'm not saying they haven't been, and there are still some, but they are now going up. How do you encourage them, though, to increase the quality of the hotel? Because there's no reason for them to be demolished, and the facades are not unattractive. And they do have, in Sussex Gardens case, parking facilities, which not many of the hotels, of such small hotels, have. So I put the question really to you: how can planning assist with the encouragement of 3-star, where the margin profits are not so great? And the idea of not having kitchens. They do have uncooked breakfasts in the basement. I think that has been a change, and they can get more bedrooms in, which is basically, at one time there was a requirement that they had to be able to provide cooked breakfast and one meal or something. So they had these cooking facilities, but I think you must have relaxed. And now, as long as they have a dining area with uncooked breakfasts, then the rest of it can, except for the reception area, be in bedrooms. And it also means you get 1 or 2 ground floor bedrooms as a result, which some of the Great Western, I think, is a group of 3-star hotels. and that's the one they've got in Sussex Gardens is really an exemplar.
Okay, thank you. Okay.